and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's YouTube video is actually going to be something quite different to what I usually do, but I feel like it's something that needs to be said and it's something that I need to get off my chest. So this is actually going to be in two parts, so buckle up because you're in for a ride. But I feel like I need to say it, and I always get asked questions on how I feel about situations which I never talk about. So I am going to talk about those today. So before we get into the video, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you are subscribed, then stay subscribed because we've got a lot of fun content coming up. And make sure you follow all of my social media, guys. You need to follow me. But let's get into what this video is and talk about it. So I'm going to be talking a lot about online hate, and if we start off with the fact that last season, the amount of online hate that our players received was crazy to me. Like if we talk about like certain individuals, I don't know, we take out Maguire, we take out De Gea, Shaw, even Rashford, Fred, Wan-Bissaka, even Bruno. So I used to sit there on Twitter last year and actually tweet about them, defending them. Like you can go back and you will see me just constantly defending them from everyone that used to throw disgusting hate at them. Don't get me wrong, right? Last season, of course we had a bad season, but is there any need to throw the disgusting names and behaviour like that? Like, do they deserve that? Like the disgusting behaviours, the hate, like what people were saying. Do they really deserve all of that? Like, yes, you're going to criticise them. Yes, they deserve some criticism, but we sacked our manager. We then got Ralph, which, by the way, I even posted on Twitter about how much I did not want Ralph. But then he had all these little, like, Ralph, what are they called? You know, like groupies maybe? Like, I can't think of the word. But you had like all these little like Ralph like fans coming out and being like, Ralph's doing the best he can with that team, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, sorry? Ralph went because he was useless. I even said we should not be having Ralph right now. That is not going to help us. What happened? It didn't. He was not what we needed. He was never going to be. But if you think of like the hate that they got, like it mainly comes from trolls, fan cam channels, people even with big Twitters. Like, people I always see on Twitter lately, like people arguing back with those people, like the trolls or the big Twitter accounts or the fan cam channels. Like, don't give them that satisfaction because all they want is clicks. All they are doing is looking for clicks, views, and you're giving it to them. So don't rise to their nonsense because that is literally all they spout is nonsense and it's all for views. So just ignore it. I know it's so frustrating because when you look at it, you think, number one, what is it to do with you? Number two, why do they deserve so much hate? For what? If you look at Shaw, look at how far he has come from his injury. Like, look at him last season and look at him now. It's like a different person on that pitch. Look at Maguire. Now, I know there is criticism, and I agree. I agree that some of the decisions made are not the best, and I agree that he probably should be moved on from United, and I agree with all of that, but there's a fine level of criticism and then just spitefulness and just hate and constant hate to the point where he was getting threats. What do you actually think that does to a player's mentality? And then you want him to go onto the pitch and give the performance of his life when he'll be aware of every single comment that comes out of people's mouths. the threats he was getting, he would be aware of that. So naturally, that is going to ruin your mental health, and that going on a pitch and trying to perform in front of so many people is never going to work. And I feel sorry for him with that sense. Like, he's not an awful player. He's a good player. He's just, there are some things that you think, are a bit iffy. But just like you would with any other player, when they're having an off day or something's going wrong or it's not going right for us, and you sit there and you're like, okay, well, why did you make that decision? Where did that come from? Or silly things like that. Like, criticism is fine. Like, we're allowed to do that, but not when you're throwing disgusting words about and just absolutely destroying someone just for clicks and views. That's not okay, and that's what needs to stop, because quite frankly, it's not nice, it's disgusting behaviour, and it just needs to just come to an end now. Just stop. If you think about it, no one that goes to a match throws the hate that the trolls do online. The people that claim to be fans that have never been to a match, those kind of people is what I'm talking about. The shade that they throw when they've never been to a match but they want to pretend they're a United fan is crazy to me. Those are people that have never been to a United game. Tell me, if you're coming out with utter nonsense and disgusting words, are you a United fan? Really? Because you're not. And you don't deserve to support the club if you're gonna destroy someone like that. So, no. We all have a special connection with the players. So that's when I know that people that are so nasty and spiteful, they are genuinely not real fans, because the real fans, no matter who puts this top on their back, you back them 100%. You support them until you die, essentially, until they're not in the game anymore, until they're not playing for United anymore. You back them fully. Although you can have your criticism if they're having a bad day or if they're having an off day or if they're doing silly mistakes, yes, you can. But whoever puts his top on, you back. You don't slag them off. You don't throw awful comments around at them. You just back them. And that's what you should be doing. So if we go back to last season, and then you look at this season, look how far we have come. Look how far we've come. Under Erik ten Hag, the man, pulled his best. He has put us in amazing form. Look what he's done to some of the players. They've grown so much from last season to this season, and it is so amazing to see. And yet, people still want to sit there and be like, what is Ten Hag doing? All the trolls, for instance, will come out and be like, what is he doing? He doesn't have a clue. I see so many comments where people are literally slagging him off, and it's right, we've already won a trophy. The man has already won a trophy. We are now potentially going to win another trophy. So the man is amazing. What he's doing so far, wow. And yet people still want to try and bring him down. He has a reason for everything he does, and he does it well. So I see people online, when we lose a game, they can't wait for these trolls cannot wait for us to lose a game. They can't wait for us to lose a game, just so they can jump on the bandwagon again with their stupid videos, their stupid TikToks they want to do, or whatever it is. They can't wait for us to lose a game so then they can get their views by being United are in the mud again, Erik ten Hag, blah blah blah. It's sorry? Because as far as I knew, we'd already won one trophy so far this season, and we could possibly get one more. So I'm just wondering, are Are you okay in the head? Is everything all right? Because you're clearly not seeing what I'm seeing right now. But again, that comes down to trolls and the internet and the people who don't support them and the people who are threatened by United, because we are the biggest club in the world. So naturally, people are going to absolutely slate us and throw comments at us because we are the biggest club in the world and they can't handle that. So let them crack on. Let them crack on. Now, my rant is going to continue, but it is going to go into a part 2, guys. So make sure you stick around and you subscribe, because we are going to get really into this now and we're going to go into a part 2. So stick around, guys.